I'm live. Yay. Okay. I'm finally live and I think that I can be heard. Okay. All right. So, I hope everyone is having or yeah, is having and has had a blessed day. I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of your day as me and my family will definitely enjoy the rest of ours. Today, praise Yah and all glory goes to Yah and only Yah. I would like to discuss, um, as you can see in the title, how the Creator has created all people in the world. And the Most High has enemies. And the Most High, yes, there are nations of enemies against the Most High. However, there are those of certain nations who will turn to the Creator, as we all should, and join the Israelites. But first, I would like to go over who Israel is. And then we'll go over those nations. First, we'll talk about who Israel is, and we will talk about the blessing for Israel from Yah, Yah's blessing to Israel from Yah. And then we will talk about Yah's blessing to the other nations from Yah. So I'm going to start at Ezekiel 22. And I don't care who it offends because the truth is the truth for either side when it's black or white. The truth is the truth, and the truth is definitely a balance. The truth is just. It's in the middle. It's not to the right or the left, right? So whoever is offended, I really honestly could care less on either side. I'm just here to give the Most High's word, and I hope you hear the message. So I'm starting in Ezekiel 22. To discuss some of those traits of Israel and who we are. So in Ezekiel 22, starting in verse 1, I would like to say, Hallelujah. Moreover, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Now, you son of man, will you judge? Will you judge the bloody city? Yeah, you shall show her all her abominations. Then say you, Thus saith Yah Elohim, the city sheds blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and makes idols against herself to defile herself. You are become guilty in your blood, that you have shed and have defiled yourself in your idols which you have made, and thou have caused your days to draw near, and are come even unto your years. Therefore have I made you a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries. So let's go over that again. So we are referred to as the bloody city, right? Shedding blood. And we've shown all our abominations. Then we say in the name of Yah, the city sheds blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and make idols against herself to defile herself, as we do this day, making idols and bowing down to them. Christianity and Islam and all of the different religions that we take part in, making graven images and bowing to them, which we should not be doing as a people. You are become guilty in your blood that you have shed, and have defiled yourself in your idols which you have made, and you have caused your days to draw near, and are come even unto your years. Therefore have I made you a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries. So after we did all these abominations in the sight of our Creator, the Most High made sure that we became a mocking to all the countries round about, right? All the countries and around the world, we became a reproach to even unto the heathen, to the heathens who did not practice the laws of the Creator, because they did not know the laws of the Creator, right? But we did. So those that be near and those that be far from you shall mock you, which are infamous and much vexed. So those that be near and those that be far from you shall mock you. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. All right. I'm trying to share my screen. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm reading. Okay. So those that be near and those that be far from you shall mock you, which are infamous and much vexed. Behold, the princes of Israel, every one were in you, to their power to shed blood. In you have they set light by fire, or not by fire. I'm so sorry, guys. Set light by father and mother in the midst of you. We've disappointed our parents. Um, we fight our parents. We do horrible things, right? In the midst of you have they dealt by oppression with the stranger. In you have they vexed the fatherless and the widow. You have despised my holy things and have profaned my Sabbaths. In you are men that carry tales to shed blood, and in you they eat upon the mountains. In the midst of you they commit lewdness. In you have they discovered their father's nakedness. In you have they humbled her that was set apart for pollution. And one has committed abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another has lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law. And another in you has humbled his sister, his father's daughter. And in you have they taken gifts to shed blood. You have taken usury and increase, and you have greedily gained of your neighbors by extortion, and have forgotten me, saith Yah. Does that sound familiar? I mean, not the forgotten Yah part, because we're the only nation that's known Yah, but We have greedily gained of your neighbors by extortion. We're doing the same thing that the evil oligarchs of today do, right? We have been guilty of the same thing, and still to this day, we have not changed our ways, Israel. So in verse 13, it says, "Behold, therefore, I have smitten my hand at your dishonest gain, which you have made, and at your blood, which have been in the midst of you. Can your heart endure, or can your hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with you? I, Yah, have spoken it and will do it. And I will scatter you among the heathen and disperse you in the countries, and will consume your filthiness out of you. And you shall take your inheritance in yourself in the sight of the heathen, and you shall know that I am Yah." So we take our inheritance. Who else does that? Who else is known for taking their inheritance in themselves? Who else is known for not having a family that can support them and look out for them? Who else is known for being an island? Who else is known for not being a nation that's gathered together in unity? But Black people that were a part of the transatlantic slave trade. Who? No one. No one can say this except our people that have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. And the word of Yah in verse 17 came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith Yah Elohim, because you are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Even in the Most High's fury, he refers to us as silver and brass and iron, lead and tin. The Most High loves us. His mercy endureth forever. Yah's mercy is even when the Most High is um, punishing us. The Most High still shows us mercy. Yeah, in verse 21, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall you be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, Yah, have poured out my fury upon you. And the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, you are the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They they have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law. Even the priests, our priests were cutting up. Even our priests who are supposed to really lead by example. I mean, as a priest who's supposed to be seen as holy and clean, a priest is supposed to be the walking epitome of light. Our priests have violated the laws of Yah and have profaned my holy things. They have put, did you know in 2 Kings there was a prophet named Micah? I mean, not a prophet. Forgive me, Yah. I'm mixing up the prophet Micah and the other. This Micah came from Ephraim. The prophet Micah came from Judah, I believe, but this Micah came from Ephraim. He, in those days, there were no kings in Israel, right? There were no kings, so every man did what was right in his own eyes. And this man, Micah, anointed a priest for himself and built an idol of himself to be worshipped that the Israelites did bow to. I mean, we were doing stuff like this, and then we want to sit here and we're pointing the finger at the heathens. We're pointing the finger at, you know, the stranger, but we have to take a look at ourselves before we can point at anybody else. This is not even about anybody else right now. This is just about Israel. We have to look at ourselves, and we have to understand that everything that we see that's happening today, there's nothing new under the sun. We have already done it. We are not learning from white people. White people learned from us, and so did all the other strangers. They learned a lot of their ways from us, even though we took um, some of their idols and started worshiping their idols and doing those things, turning away from the Most High. When you look at the ways of these greedy billionaires today, they aren't doing anything that we haven't already done in Israel, unfortunately. So you look at um, verse 26. I didn't finish it. Okay, so it says, her priests have violated my law. And you'll see it says, and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane. What does that sound like? Does that sound like a lot of these Christian churches with the pastor running around openly gay, openly doing things to children they shouldn't be doing, sleeping with other men's wives, right? They they have put no difference between the holy and the profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Verse 27, her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. I gotta get mine, so I'm gonna take yours. Type of mentality. Shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. We would rather have dishonest gain over honest gain. And you can't deny it, because this is exactly what our people do today as a collective. It's not just a few of us here and there that do the wrong thing. It's the majority of us walking in the wrong path all over the earth. We're not leading by example like we should be, because we have to remember, as Israel, we had the biggest responsibility, of all when you're the ruler of the planet, and that is to lead by example. And if you're not leading by example, everybody goes astray. And this system here is just an example. This Babylonian system that's been set up by the Most High is an example. It's just to show you what happens when sin fills the earth, and there is no repercussion, or there's no consequences for your wicked actions. There's no consequence for the evil doers. This is what it looks like in the world. And the world is pretty bad. If you ask anyone right now, they'll tell you that the state of the world is chaos. And it's not even fully at that point yet. But every time you turn on the news, you can see just tragedy and horrible things happening. You can confirm that the world is pretty messed up just by turning on social media, walking outside, depending on where you are. There's a lot of crime out there, a lot. So then we go to verse 28, where it says, "And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith Yah, when Yah has not spoken." These are the same lying preachers and ministers and people, prophets and prophetess, who claim to be prophets and prophetess, and they go around and they say, "Oh, well, God said to me." Sound familiar? There's a lot of people that do that. God told me, God said to me. I'll never ever tell you that God said to me personally, because it wasn't. It didn't happen. I can't confirm that. And if I can't confirm that it was the Elohim, then I'm not going to say it was the Elohim. It could have been an angel. You can't just walk around telling people that God told you something and think you can just get away with that. There's consequences for that. You may not think there's a consequence, but there is always a consequence. Verse 29 says, "The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yeah, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully." So everything that is happening today in this system that we see oppression, we see robbery, we see the vexation of the poor and needy, and the oppression of the stranger, the foreigners, right? We have to know what a stranger is. There's a difference. The stranger means that they are not Israel, they are of another nation. So you mean to tell me that Israel oppressed other nations as well? Absolutely. Israel also oppressed other nations, just like the oppressors of today oppress other nations. We have as well when we had the power. Verse 30 says, "And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found none. Therefore have I poured out my indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have I recompensed upon their heads, saith Yah." Hallelujah. So we have to understand that if we as Black people won't change for the world, if we don't change in the world, then how could we lead the world? You can't lead the world in corruption. And by corruption, you have to lead the world in righteousness. We have to be the greatest example of righteousness, sorry. Hebrews must be righteous. We must be perfect in the sight of the Creator in all our ways. We can't be corrupt and perverse and do abominable things and commit idolatry and oppress and do all of the things that we complain about. We complain about it, but yet we do it even to each other. You can't complain about something that you're practicing. In verse 30, it says, verse 31, it says, therefore, oh no, I read all of that. Okay, sorry. Um, we will go to um, another description of our people. And that's not even the half of it, because that was just the highlight of the things that we were doing in Israel. But the Most High said that in the end, the Most High would bless Israel, and a remnant shall return, those who want to do right. And this is how you know this is not a battle of black and white. This is not a battle of the races. This is a battle of good and evil. And you hear people saying that. You turn on the news, you hear people saying it now. This is not about race. This is about good and evil, righteous and wicked. Because it truly is. Certainly, it most certainly is. So then we go to verse 1 of Jeremiah 31, and we read at the beginning where it says, at the same time, saith Yah, will I be the Elohim of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith Yah, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. So this is after a war. This is after a war. And those who escaped from the war found grace in the wilderness. Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. Verse 3, Yah has appeared of old unto me, saying, yeah, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Love, love, love. Our Elohim is a God of love. But our Elohim is also a God of war. Our Elohim will eradicate the wicked. We're the ones who don't eradicate the wicked. And we allow things to fester. We allow things to grow. We allow things to permeate. We allow things to spread, metastasize, and take over. We allow wickedness in our midst. We don't correct one another. We see wickedness in the way and we turn our heads or we join in, but we don't correct. We allow things to just get out of control, and then we want to complain about it when it starts to affect us and it comes to our front door. So then we read verse 4 where it says, "Again, I will build thee." Yah will build us, and you shall be built. We're always talking about building as a people. Building, 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 and we still haven't accomplished it. The Most High lets us know right here in this verse, in verse 4, that the Most High will build us again. It's not rocket science. You don't have to, write this whole blueprint out and all that. The Most High already told you. The Most High got you. Again, I will build thee, and you shall be built, O Virgin of Israel. You shall again be adorned with your tabrets, and shall go forth in dances of them that make merry. You shall yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall plant, and shall eat them as common things. For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion unto Yah our Elohim. For thus saith Yah, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yah, save your people, the remnant of Israel. Verse 8, Behold, I will bring them from the north country, which is America, North America, and gather them from the coasts of the earth. That's everywhere else. And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. And why is Ephraim the Most High's firstborn? Well, if we keep reading, we'll find out. In verse 10, it says, Hear the word of Yah, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. For Yah has redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Therefore, because we all know who's stronger than our nation right now, who's stronger than black people right now, as far as military might and as far as um, organization, as far as finances, economically, you know, as far as resources go, who is stronger than Jacob? Well, the ones who have Jacob in captivity right now, right? So Yah says, Yah has redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than him. Verse 12, Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of Yah, for wheat and for wine and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd, and their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Verse 13. Then shall the virgin rejoice and the dance, both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith Yah. Thus saith Yah, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not, like a sheep that lost her babies. Verse 16. Thus saith Yah, refrain your voice from weeping, and your eyes from tears, for your work shall be rewarded, saith Yah, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in your end, saith Yah, that your children shall come again to their own border. We are the only nation on the planet that doesn't own our own land. Another owns our land. The ones who oppressed us own our land. They own these borders. We are the only nation on the planet, scattered to the four corners, who do not have our own borders. And the Most High says here that the Most High will return us back, and that our children shall come again to their own border. Verse 18. This is where we find out why Ephraim is Yah's firstborn. So, I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself. Thus, you have chastised me, and I was chastised as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn you me, and I shall be turned, for you are Yah my Elohim. Verse 19 says, surely after that I was turned. I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh. I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore, my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith Yah. Ephraim, a faithful servant. Verse 21. Set you up waymarks. Make you high heaps. Set your heart toward the highway, even the way which you went. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel. Turn again to these your cities. How long will you go about, O you backsliding daughter? For Yah has created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So this right here, a woman surrounding a man, you cannot tell me that the Most High is misogynistic, that the word is misogynistic, because the Most High already said the Most High is going to bring a new thing in the earth where a woman would surround a man. Women are in greater positions than men. Women are doing things around the world that are very honorable. The Most High made all people, and the Most High loves all who choose to turn to Yah in righteousness. Woman, man, black, white, Latino, Asian, child, if you turn to Yah in righteousness, the Most High loves you, period. Verse 23. Thus saith Yah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, as yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. Yah bless you, O habitation of justice, and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof, together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awaked and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. Behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And verse 28 says, and it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith Yah. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Right? The fathers have eaten a sour grape. What does that mean? What does it mean to say the fathers have eaten a sour grape? Well, it means that you are annoyed or you are unhappy about something. Usually, when someone else has success, maybe jealousy or envy may come up. So you've eaten a sour grape, right? And you begin to become sour. you, or as they like to say in this generation, salty, right? People get upset when someone else makes it. And that happens a lot with our people. You see a lot of these guys out here killing people in their own community out of jealousy because you deem someone else to be uh, more successful than you, right? That's horrible. It shouldn't be that way. Like, we should be happy for each other. We should be in unity, dwelling in unity, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. But it's temporary. We will come together. The Most High said we'll come together. But this right here is just more confirmation that we are who the Most High says we are, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Okay, so the children's teeth are set on edge. The children are annoyed, right? The children are annoyed. The children behave badly, but the children are annoyed, right? Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. A little interruption. Um, all right, so where was I? Let's get back to the scripture. Okay. Um, and his teeth shall be set on it. Okay. So verse 30 where it says, "But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eats the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge." Right? So these people who decide that they don't want to be happy when Yah comes back and blesses the earth, but they want to spread that hate and that rebellious spirit, that mindset. Those will be the people that are annoyed and vexed. Those will be the people they have to bear the annoyance, right? They'll have to bear the annoyance. Because in verse 29, it says, "The fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge." So you annoying the kids. The kids are annoyed at their fathers. Well, if you commit iniquity, eat the sour grape, and the teeth, your teeth, shall be set on edge. You ain't gonna be able to live with yourself, let alone in the kingdom of Yah. So we will go to verse 31, and it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yah." See, so this is not a covenant that we're under yet. People, especially Christians, will tell you we're under a new covenant when we're not under a new covenant. Any moray in the house of Israel, non messianic, will tell you that. They will tell you that. Non messianic means to not worship idols, to not worship Christ. So, knowing that, we start to understand more why things are happening the way that they are. Because if we were under the new covenant, there would be peace on earth. Because that's what God, the creator of all, promised, right? Christ did not promise that. And I could show you a quick verse. Let me show you just a quick verse. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, where it says, "Think not that I came or that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." So If Christ and the Most High are the same, because y'all call it a trilogy, and you say that they're all the same, the God, the Son, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and you say that they're all one, that's what you say. It's all one. But in this verse, that what a lot of Christians say. Christ said, "Think not that I came or that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter in law against her mother in law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household." What kind of a loving God would do that? Listen, he said in verse 37, or in verse 37, he that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, as if he's God. But God never said that he came not to bring peace. Verse 34, he says, "Think not that I," or verse 33 says, "But whosoever," where was I? Send peace. I came not to send peace. Du, 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 du. Here it is. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father, which is in heaven. So he just told you that whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. That's not the same entity. That is not the same being. You cannot say that 1, 2, and 3 makes 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3, or 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. Sorry, it's all confusion. You can see in the New Testament, it's all confusion. He said, "My Father." So this right here should tell people that have any common sense. You call him the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Why are they separate if they're all the same? The Most High doesn't speak like that in the Old Testament. The Most High doesn't speak in that confusion. When the Most High speaks, the Most High always says, "Thus saith YAH, thus saith the Lord." He tells a prophet to go before the people and speak. Christ wants to make himself the prophet, the God, the Spirit, and all of these things. You can't see that that is idolatry. It's the worship of many gods. That is idolatry. And any God that's not the creator is idolatry. Christianity is the worship of 3 gods. That's why there's 3 points on the cross. because there's a spot for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost on the throne. But the Most High said that there will be no one beside the Most High. There will be no one beside the Most High. So then I go to hold on a second. Isaiah 45. Oops. And we'll go to verse 4. And it says, "For Jacob, my servant." First, let's start at verse 1, because I want to just back up what I just said about how the Most High speaks and how the Christ in the New Testament speaks. And all of his disciples, they don't speak like any of the prophets. They don't speak like the Elohim. It's much different. So you read verse 1, where it says, "Thus saith Yah to his anointed." That's how the Most High talks. It's straight up. There's no, we don't need all the parables and the riddles and all the stuff that we don't do that. That's something that the heathens partake in. That's what the heathens started, because that's how they viewed God. That's how they said God was. And so they had, in order for them to understand, because they just didn't get it, a lot of them refused to turn from their wickedness. But those of them that really just didn't have the word because we failed to deliver it to them, their interpretation of God was very primitive. That is why primates existed, and those primitive beings, people like that existed. Those were the heathens. Those were the heathen, Neanderthals, and all of those. Those were the heathens. So no, they did not understand um, the Creator like Israel understood the Creator. Um, in that sense, Israel brought forth civilization, right? Israel brought forth civilization in the way, in the manner that it should be. Israel even built the pyramids. Israel is in all of these pieces of history that you read, because we, a lot of the time, have been in captivities and slavery. That's who we are. Deuteronomy 28 is not the only place where you'll see that we went into slavery. We went into Assyrian captivity, Babylonian captivity, many captivities because of our disobedience to the Creator and wanting to join with the heathens and worship idols. When you worship an idol, you're lowering yourself, whether you're a heathen or not. So I digress. I don't want to jump off into that because that is a topic for another day. I wanted to keep on explaining who Israel is and our blessing from Yah, and who the strangers are and their blessing from Yah. So we go back to Okay, let me finish my point. Speaking on thus saith Yah to his anointed. That's how the Most High speaks straight up. To Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him, and two-leaved gates. And the gates shall not be shut. I will go before you and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. So the Most High is speaking in the Old Testament. As you can see, you can clearly see that's the Most High because it's I. It said, "Thus saith Yah, I." Testament, and it's always referencing the Father, referencing God, but you never hear God speak. God never says, "Thus saith Yah," right? So then, who's lying? Somebody's lying because I've never heard of a father who's never talked to his son unless he is a deadbeat dad. And we know that's not true about the Creator, right? But he's never talked to this son that he claims to love all through the Old Testament. The Most High talks about his firstborn, his firstborn son, Israel, and how much love the Creator has for us, even though the Most High has punished us and the Most High spoke to us. But you never see the Most High spoke to the prophets. He spoke to Moses. He spoke to Abraham. You cannot show me where the Most High spoke to Christ. That's one thing I used to always love that Maury Alicia said. Maury Alicia Israel of the House of Israel. You can't show me where Christ ever spoke to the God of the Old Testament, the creator of all. And he's the supposed son. So, anyways, verse 4 says, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called you by your name. I have surnamed you, though you have not known me. I am Yah. I am Yah, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded you, though you have not known me." Why are we putting Christ beside the Elohim when our God already told? And this is why the Most High is so angry with us, Israel, because we continue to blaspheme the Most High. That's blaspheme. The Most High already told you there is no God beside him. So why are we putting an idol? That's an insult. It's a punch in the face. It's like saying, move out of the way because there is a God beside you. We're just going to make a God and put a God beside you. Matter of fact, we're going to put two gods beside you because we got to have the Holy Ghost. Really? Because we refuse to turn to the Most High and follow the Most High's laws. We follow the laws of every other nation, and we can hardly follow those. But we sure certainly know how to hide our sins from man, but we can't hide them from God. And that's the thing that we have to start understanding. We can hide our sins from man, but we cannot hide our sins from God, from the Creator. The Most High sees what we do. No matter what other people think, the Most High is always watching, right? Always watching. The Most High is one. The Most High's eyes go to and fro through the earth. So now let's go to, uh, we're back to Jeremiah 31, right? So we don't get off course. Where the Most High says they're going to make a new covenant with us. So no, Christianity is not the new covenant. Christianity could never be the new covenant. Do you understand? It is a form of idolatry. It's an abomination before the Most High, your true and living God. So let's go to verse 31 in Jeremiah 31, where it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yah. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yah, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people." That's the new covenant. That is the new covenant. If this did not happen, then how could we be in the new covenant? Are we practicing the laws, statutes, and commandments, testimonies, judgment? Are we practicing the Most High's laws as a nation, like truly, even when nobody's watching? Are we practicing the laws of Yah? No, our people are not practicing the laws of Yah. So we're not here yet, but we can be here. We can be here if we turn away from our wicked ways. So in verse 33, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yah, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people." There's no other nation on the earth the Most High has made this covenant or agreement with except Israel. You understand? Israel. We are the Most High's people. Verse 34, "And they shall teach No more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yah. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Thus saith Yah, which gives the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night, which divides the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yah of hosts is his name. If these ordinances depart from before me, saith Yah, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation from before me forever. Thus saith Yah, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yah. An old friend of mine used to say that, and or read this verse, I should say. And when they read the verse, they said, This is why Elon Musk types all these astronauts, and they have this whole SpaceX program, and they have all of this stuff going on, is because they want the Most High to cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done. So they go out in outer space, they go out in the foundations to search the earth out beneath and try to measure heaven above. Why do you think they do these things? It's not just, oh, the white man, he's a scientist and he wanted to go and uh, discover something so he can help the world to be a better place. What? When have we ever known this particular wicked group of white people? When have we ever known them, those guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about, to do anything good for the earth? As a matter of fact, this group is destroying the earth. This elite, wicked group, the wicked elites, is what I like to call them. Why would the wicked elites, and not just the wicked elites, they have minions. They have minions that follow the wicked elites because they want to be like them, right? Why is it so important for them to go out in outer space? Everyone's trying to come up with these reasons for that. They're like, oh, he's looking for another planet. He can't even keep a straight face when he's telling you they're looking for another planet with life on Fox News. Come on, guys. They're trying to measure the heavens. That's why they have satellites, because the satellites measure things. They measure the speed of light, the speed of sound, all this measurements, and using numbers to measure things. Longitude, latitude, measuring, all this measuring. For what, guys? Think about it. Like, really think about why they measure the borders and they're measuring everything. They're not keeping the laws of Yah. They're not keeping the laws of the Creator. The Creator didn't command them to do it. He sent the angels to measure the earth. Don't believe me? Okay, I will take you to where the Most High sent the angel to measure the earth. I'm trying to figure out where I wrote this down. Was it Zechariah? Yes, Zechariah 2. All right. So let's go to Zechariah 2. All right. So Zechariah 2 says, I lifted up my eyes in verse 1. I lifted up my eyes again and looked, behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, whither goest you? And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. Verse 3. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. So you see right there, when the Most High measures things in the earth, he sent the angels. Now, it's not that man can't measure, man can measure, but you'll never see, because we measure too as well, but you never see where the Most High has sent out a commandment to anyone to go and measure the heavens. When has the Most High ever said that? The Most High hasn't commanded anyone to even go to the heavens from this earth. So going up and trying to measure the heavens, it just shows you that that prophecy is real. I loved when my friend pointed that out, because I never would have known that was even in the word, that they were going to be doing these things with the SpaceX programs and all that, because they want to cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith YAH. Verse 38, behold, the days come, saith YAH, that the city shall be built to YAH from the tower of Hananiel unto the gate of the corner. And the measuring line, there you go, shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and shall compass about to Goath. Verse 40 says, in the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook of Kidron. The brook of Kidron is a place where Israel used to bury the dead. The Most High said, even that spot of Israel Israel, even that portion of Israel, unto the corner of the horse gate toward the east, shall be holy unto Yah. It shall not be nor thrown down any more forever. Forever. When has this happened? This has not happened yet. So, anyone that's having doubts about the word of the Creator, all you have to do is go back to the beginning and look for where we're currently at. If you call yourself an atheist or whatever, go back to the beginning, and not the Big Bang, but the beginning of mankind, the beginnings of the earth, right? The beginnings. Go back and then read prophecy. Read as much prophecy as you can throughout the Old Testament, and you'll see prophecies that we're currently in and prophecies that have passed and prophecies. Then you'll start to see the prophecies that are coming. You will start to see the prophecies that are on the way, that are about to manifest, right? But you have to stick with the Creator. So this hasn't happened yet, because it says, it shall not be plucked up nor thrown down any more forever. This kingdom here is coming down rapidly as we speak. Babylon is falling rapidly. You cannot tell me the daughter of Babylon is falling rapidly. You cannot tell me that this is just, some old book. I mean, it is an old book, but all the books that you read are old books. Some people like to read new books. But wherever you're getting your source of information from, you're probably getting it from a book, unless you're just one of those people that like to live very primitively. And by that, I mean you like to build your house from the ground out of sand or dirt or something, and make pottery all day. That's something that heathens do. They've always done that. And so, if we want to keep living like that, then we can throw away the Most High's law, even though the Most High tells us you throw away the Most High's law, there's consequences. The Most High destroyed the whole earth with a flood. Everybody knows about Noah and the ark because of men's disobedience, men's wickedness, not wanting to go by the law of Yah. And science can back up the great flood. I mean, what is Atlantis? I mean, why do we have uh, monuments underwater? People, think about it. Why do we have so many things underwater that look like they used to be structures? Because there was a great flood over the whole earth. The Most High filled the earth with water because we did not want to go by the laws. We wanted to just live like primitive heathens. That's not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Creator so that we can have order and peace on earth. If everybody would just live primitively, there would be no laws. Who is going to govern who to make sure that people aren't harming each other and wickedness is not being done? Because we see Babylon is the greatest example of how the earth falls when wickedness is in charge, when there's no repercussions for the actions of people. Because if you really think about it, you have a king in Babylon, but the king is not enforcing any type of rule except to make him rich and richer and richer, right? People can do what they want to do pretty much. People commit all types of crimes. Even the police commit all types of crimes, and they're supposed to be enforcing the quote unquote law. So, no, we're not supposed to just live as atheists and just everyone just do what as thou wilt and do what they want to do, because this is a result of that. And we try to tell you, those of us who have heard us, anyways, because I know a lot of people probably haven't heard non messianics, but we try to tell people eh, you can't live just any kind of way. Because when you live any kind of way, this is a result of that. What's happening right now with America, the system. No one, there's no unity. There is all this division. Why? All this craziness and mental illness and astonishment of heart and all of this chaos. Why is it out of order? Why is it in disarray? Why are these things happening in America right now? Well, it's happening like this because we refuse to turn from our wicked ways. Because that's the first thing you have to do. The first thing you have to do is turn from your wickedness. Anything that's causing you to be wicked, you need to turn from it. Anything that's causing you to compromise your morals, you need to turn from it. Anything that is making you, you know, feel violated and perverse, like something has just violated you, you need to turn from that. Anything that's vile and abominable, idolatrous, we need to turn from those things. When we turn from those things, then you start to see change. We know this. We know this is true. So, no, everyone needs to go by the laws of righteousness. Because if we don't have a set of laws of righteousness to govern us, how are we going to ever make it through this storm? We're not. That's the only way that we're going to come together. Any man that is wicked can turn from his wicked way. Anyone. Anyone. So this chapter right here, Jeremiah 31, this is a description of who we can be as a people, Hebrew Israelites, who we can be as a people, the possibility if you turn from your wickedness. First, Israel needs to turn from our wickedness. We have to be that example. We have to turn from our wickedness. You see how the world follows you, Israel? They're always wanting to copy everything you do, and you get annoyed by it, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like a little sibling that keeps following you around. And, they take everything you do got and they don't put it back. Oh, you just want to pull your hair out. It's an annoyance, right? Everything we do, they just, gosh, you just gotta copy everything, right? Just copycat me. All right, okay. And you're just gonna take what I got and you ain't gonna put it back. As a matter of fact, you done messed it up. You done messed it up. Okay? You ain't just take it from me, but you done messed it up. I can't even use it no more because you messed it up. Okay? Buy me another one. Good grief. But yeah, it's just like, you get annoyed at it and everything. But at the end of the day, Israel, the world follows you. The world obviously looks up to you. Obviously. So why wouldn't you want to lead by a righteous or a good example? Why would you want to lead the world into sin? So, you know, you can look at this kind of like what's the word I'm trying to think of? No, identical. Is that what I'm trying to think of? Paradoxal. Okay, polar opposites, but exactly the same. Like doppelgangers, but exactly the same. You know, it's like a mirror. Yeah, let's just keep it simple. Like a mirror, right? The Most High shine a mirror in Israel's face. That's what's happening right now. The ones who are ruling right now and have power in the earth right now that the Most High gave them temporarily, it's gonna be real temporary if they don't turn to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be more temporary. But those people that the Most High has put in charge for a time are a reflection of our people. They are a reflection of us. Okay? We're complete opposites, but then we're identical, like twins, right? Just like twins. So you can't, in that sense, it would be like a sibling. So the sibling is counting on you to do the right thing. They really want you to do the right thing, but because they know that when they run it, it's probably going to kind of, get out of control because they know a lot of their people and they know how a lot of them can get, you know what I'm saying? Because they even say it to you, they'll tell you themselves, I know how my people are. It's the same thing with us. Like, you're like, yeah, we got black people and we got niggas, you know what I'm saying? We, I know how some of my people can be, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, the Most High wants us to understand the error of our ways, which is why they are a reflection of us. Because I just read to you in Jeremiah, uh, was it Jeremiah 31? No, 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 no. It was Ezekiel. Wasn't I in Ezekiel? Yeah, Ezekiel 22. I read to you in Ezekiel 22 where the Most High was pointing out that Israel has already done these things. We did these things. We've been did this like in the past. Like like how we always say we if if we didn't did it, if they doing it, we already did it. did it. That's like our little saying. If they doing it, we already did it. We already did it, y'all. Like we already did the whole Elon Musk Trump thing. We already did all of that. This is not new for us. So, um, in Jeremiah 31, you see Israel's blessings, right? Now, I want to get into Joel 3. And Joel 3, verse 1, it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also," check this out, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat." So the Most High is the gatherer. Okay, the Most High is gathering not just Israel. The Most High is gathering all nations. Did y'all hear that? All nations, right? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. So if you're not a believer, if you're not a seer, if you're not a believer, start seeing and start believing. "Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Verse 3, "And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." And you might say, whew, that is horrible. You done sold a boy for a harlot and this, that, and the. Honey, we were setting our kids on fire, sacrificing them in fire for idols. We were throwing our children in fire for idols. So, yes, that's a horrible thing. It's abominable. They cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot, which is abominable, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. That's why you got all these little sissies walking around, these little boys running around thinking they're girls, and the girls are acting like drunkards. They just don't have a care in the world. Everybody want to be Cardi B, right? But that's not all our people. But we got a lot of people like that, right? Verse 4, "Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head." Mm. Verse 5, "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things." Now, this right here is where we get real dirty. This is where we get real dirty because you taking the Most High's things. You taking the Most High's goodly, pleasant things, right? "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border." Mm. So this is what the heathens, the strangers, the ones who used to talk with us, you thought they were cool with you, the ones that you didn't think were racist, right? They done came up against you, brought you down in the midst of your sins. That's how a nation becomes weak, because of their wickedness. You see how weak America is. America was at its greatest, at its peak, when it had or appeared to have morals. When America appeared to have morals, it was at its pinnacle, its height. It was at its greatest point when it appeared to have morals. And what brought and is continuing to bring down America, the daughter of Babylon? Its lack of morals, its sins, its wickedness. The whole country, the whole land is filled with sin and wickedness. What happens in America used to stay in America, but guess what? The whole world sees it now. America has no morals whatsoever. None. So when the Most High speaks of us being sold unto the Grecians, that we might be removed far from our border, we weren't just moving far from our border in the sense that we were moving from the land of Israel. We were moving far from our Creator, far from our Elohim. That's what that is symbolic of. It's also our slavery, our captivity to transatlantic slavery, this captivity in America is representation of how far from our heritage we are when we were sold. Verse 7 says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah." And this is why they hate black people. You understand? This is why they hate black people. Is it starting to make more sense? Is it starting to make some more sense? This is why they hate black people, because it says in verse 8, "And I will sell your son," these racist MAGAs running around, "I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off, for Yah has spoken it." So when I say racist MAGAs, I'm not just talking about the ones in America. I'm talking about the ones everywhere. They hate black people because they know that they are not the true leaders. They know that. You think a lot of these, there's a reason why the lowest white person that you see knows that you're a Hebrew Israelite, and they hate you and they're jealous. They know that. And I'm not going to say every single one of them, because I don't know every single one of them, but I know the ones who are hardcore MAGA and will not change, and anything he does is right. Anything Trump does is right. And they pervert righteousness and say that evil is good and good is evil. Those people, they know they're not the true leaders because they come from a bloodline where their fathers would tell them who we are. They might not have remembered a lot of other things, like their latter end, but they certainly remembered their fathers and their grandfathers and all them telling them, "Oh, those are the people of the Bible. Those are the people of the Bible." What do you think the KKK was all about? The KKK has wizards, top wizards. That right there tells you should tell you it's witchcraft. They're magicians. They work magic. They do rituals, which is why they sacrificed black people because they know we are the people of the Bible. They knew that those KKK members of old were doing rituals with our people, our children, because they thought it would bring them blessings. So, yes, even the lowest of the low of them, um, the lowest of the low, who are MAGA mentality, that MAGA mentality, they know. Now, the black people that are MAGA, a lot of them are foolish. They're foolish because any person with common sense would not want to be a part of a group that constantly killed their people, uh, constantly beats them down and tells them that they're nothing, robs them of everything they have, bullies them. A person with common sense wouldn't want to be around that. A person that has some sense, a person that was wise, would not want to be a part of that type of a group. White or not, especially if you're not white. You got people that are white that refuse to lower themselves to that level, and they know that they could take advantage of a privilege, but they have more morals than some of those who look just like Israel, just like us, who will go over there and support their own demise. Because you're not going to be given the same privilege that a white person that decides they want to be a part of MAGA would get. You're not going to get any privilege, as a matter of fact. There is no privilege in being a black person who supports their own demise, self destruction, for gain or not for gain. But it's not going to really matter in a minute because the more you sell yourselves, the more you sell yourselves, the faster time will go by. And by the end of the crashing of the system, everything that you sold yourself for would be for naught because the money won't be worth anything. The dollar crashes, then what did you sell out for? for? What did you sell yourself for? For what? That's foolishness. We have to walk in righteousness, Israel. We have to. But right now, we're talking about the heathens and the punishment of the wicked of the heathens, right? So it says, verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For Yah has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Gentiles, those are the heathens, those are the people who are not Israel, right? Prepare war. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Look at all these wars going on, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's happening. There's a transfer of power going on. There's a transfer of power. Meaning, with this system falling, guess who's about to be back in charge? It's going to be our people in charge of the world forever. So we have to take it seriously. Our children are the future. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause your mighty ones to come down, O YAH. Let the heathen be wakened. We all about to be woke. All of us. And come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes, in the valley of decision. For the day of YAH is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Okay. Verse 16. YAH also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But YAH will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know. Pay attention to this verse. So shall ye know that I am YAH, your Elohim, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her any more. Strangers. We have to know what strangers are. Now, it says pass through. So let's read in context before we go off and figure out what a stranger is. Let's read in context. It says, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. That means to go through, to sojourn. You're just on a journey. They're not going to pass through like, oh, I'm just passing through. because the strangers used to pass through Israel a lot. Just, I'm not coming to join. I'm just coming to pass through. I just need a place to rest. Like the foreigners in America, they're just sojourning. And then they go back. They're bringing money back to their families. They work for the Israelites. This is not new to have foreigners uh, amongst us working in our country. We did that. Okay? We did that. Verse 18, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth out of the house of YAH, and shall water the valley of Shittim." Verse 19, "Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. For Yah dwelleth in Zion." The Most High is going to cleanse our blood. He's going to cleanse us completely. He's going to sprinkle holy water on us. Right? You can't have no pastor sprinkle holy water on you, because that's blasphemy. How you gonna have a pastor sprinkle holy water on you when the Most High is gonna sprinkle the holy water? Look, let's go to that verse. It is Ezekiel 36. Let's go to Ezekiel 36 real quick. And then we'll come back to who the strangers are. Ezekiel 36 and 24. "For I will take you from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land." The Most High is telling us to Israel, "For I will take you from among the heathen." The Most High is gathering us, right? "And gather you out of all countries." The Most High is going to gather all the black people around the world, and will bring you into your own land. In verse 25, it says, "Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you." So how can a pastor put a sprinkle holy water on me when the Most High said he's going to sprinkle holy? That's blasphemy. You're just a man. Praise Yah. Ask your pastor. Ask your pastors. Ask them that question. Ask them, "Pastor, and Ezekiel, you believe in sprinkling holy water on people, right?" You say, we sprinkle the holy water, right? So I have a question. Where does it tell you to sprinkle holy water? In the Old Testament. Ask him, does he know where the Most High commanded him to sprinkle holy water upon the Most High's people? The Most High is going to do this task in Ezekiel 36. So let's go back. And let's look up um, what a stranger is. So we go to stranger or sojourners in verse 35. It says, and if your brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with you, then you shall relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with you. So we're supposed to help them. We're supposed to help them because it's like helping a child. It's like helping a child. Now, the wicked ones that want to harm you, that they want to do harm to you, that's different. But if they're not trying to do harm to you directly, they might just be a little ignorant. They might be ignorant. They might not know because you know what? The Most High didn't speak to any other nation but Israel. The Most High didn't speak to any other nation but Israel. So it's our duty, it's our job to spread the word of Yah to everybody. To everybody. We're supposed to live in righteousness. So these are the laws for the stranger. Take you no usury of him, or increase, but fear your Elohim that your brother may live with you. Right? This is speaking of, hold on. Let me go back because I don't want to misquote the word. I don't want to misquote the word. I know there were laws for Israel and I know there were laws for the stranger. Yes, okay. It's definitely talking about the stranger. So he's referred to as a brother, even though he's a sojourner. Mm-hmm. Take no usury of him. Okay, so that's talking about, that is referring to Israel, the brother. Okay, so we're talking about two different things. So the brother, and we're also talking about the stranger. Okay. Because then we go to verse 45, where it says, moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall you buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your hand, and they shall be your possession. So, um, meaning it's business. When we're talking about a possession, um, we're not saying that we dictate everything that goes on in this person's life, right? That's not what we're saying. We're saying we are their boss, basically. It's a business relationship because it's telling you in verse 45, moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, you then of them shall you buy, and of their families that are with you. Buy, you shall buy. That's business, right? And of the families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession. So you bought them to work for you, just like the Mexicans and the Guatemalans and all of the Venezuelans and the, right? They are hirelings. They're hired for work, and so the stranger was our possession, just like over in America. We've already done these things. And this is the type of relationship we had with them. And we treated them like a brother. We treated them like they were one of us. So then you go to, and even the sojourners, we didn't harm them if they're just passing through. Somebody that's not going to be there long term, but somebody that's just going to be there temporarily. So then we'll go to Jeremiah 22. Jeremiah 22 and verse 1 says, "Thus saith Yah, go down to the house of the king of Judah and speak there this word, and say, Hear the word of Yah, O king of Judah, that sittest upon the throne of David, you and your servants and your people that enter in by these gates. Thus saith Yah, execute ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong, do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place." So when the strangers came into our land, we had to um, basically convert them, like the Jews say they do, but not to Judaism. We had to convert them to we had to convert them to the righteous laws of Yah. So they had to follow the laws of the land. Um, so we weren't to do any violence to them or do any wrong or oppress them. We weren't supposed to oppress them, even though when I read in Ezekiel 22 that we oppressed the strangers. We oppressed the strangers. We weren't supposed to do that. We were supposed to lead in righteousness and continue to lead in righteousness so we can progress as a world. The world would be so much healthier right now. We would have so much abundance in the world if only we had just stayed righteous and on a righteous path. But we can continue. We can save the world. We really can. We can save the world if we can just uh, turn from our own wickedness first. If we can turn from our own wickedness first, and how do we turn from our own wickedness? I told you in the beginning, you have to stop your idolatry, worshiping idols. You have to stop doing things that harm others. Stop doing things that harm innocent people, right? Stop doing things that harm children and animals and all those things, right? Stop doing things that are perverse, violating the laws, purposely scamming and all of the things that some of us like to do, you know, we have to turn from those wicked ways. We got to turn from them. And that is the only way the world's going to change because, again, the world copies black people. Like, how many times do I have to say this? The world copies black people. So if they'll copy you into your wickedness, you'll have you'll have some of them copy you in righteousness. Do you care to have all of them copy you in righteousness? Not really, because you can't change anybody. And you're certainly not going to get everybody to want to follow you because you can't satisfy everybody. And that's okay. But we have to keep being us, who we are. That's the only way that we are going to be rulers. That's the only way we're going to save our world. That's it. So we have Leviticus 24. And starting at 20, no, we're just gonna read 22. So at 22, it says, "Ye shall have one manner of law, as well for the stranger as for one of your own country. For I am Yah your Elohim." So the Most High is telling you right here, the stranger is also going to follow your law. The stranger is also going to follow the laws of Yah, the laws of the Creator. The stranger has one law with you, one manner of law. Exodus 12 says the same thing. 12 and Exodus 12 and 49 says, "One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you." See, so every time you see stranger, a lot of the time, I should say, not every time, a lot of the time you see the word stranger, you're going to see that sojourneth, the word sojourneth, is not so far behind it, right? So sojourneth is not so far behind it. So when we go back to Joel 3, where it tells us in verse 17, "So shall you know that I am Yah your Elohim, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her any more." So when the Most High says no strangers shall pass through her, that means the strangers will not sojourn through her. So don't get it confused when you see that the blessing that the Most High that I'm about to read to you, um, the blessing that the Most High is going to give to the stranger. Don't be confused. You're going to say, "Oh, well, I thought it said that the stranger shall no longer pass through Jerusalem, be holy and all." No, the strangers are not going to sojourn through there. That's what it means. Simple as that. So, because I know there are people that like to try and debate and they'll try to twist the word and say certain things. It means just that. It means the strangers will no longer sojourn. Not that the Most High God hates the white man, and the Most High God hates the Asian man, and the Most High God hates this man and that. It's none of that. The Most High hates the wicked, period. So let's go to Isaiah 56 and read. the blessing that the Most High is going to give to the stranger. So we see that Israel and the stranger, we have a lot in common, right? We have a lot in common. We were strangers in the land of Egypt. We have a lot in common. Like we like to say, like we're all human. All of us are human. It's true. Like we're all very alike. All of us. And so fighting each other and doing all the stuff that we're doing, everybody needs to stop. We all need to take a step back. We need to look in the mirror and we need to ask the Most High for forgiveness. Now, there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. The truth is the truth. But when you tell the truth, you have to tell both sides of the truth. Both sides of the truth would be there's blood on both sides. There's blood on every side, right? And then not only is there blood on every side, but there's wickedness on every side, perverseness on every side, idolatry on every side. On every side, there is something bad. And the Most High promised to bring in the good and the peace. So then you go to verse 1 in Isaiah 56, and you'll see it says, "Thus saith Yah," right? "Thus saith Yah, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that does this, and the Son of Man that lays hold on it, that keeps the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil." Verse 3: "Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to Yah speak, saying, Yah has uprooted me from his people." You hear that? "Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to Yah speak, saying," this is all the other races. There's nothing when you're looking at MAGA and you're looking at Israel and you're speaking, you're on the middle. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. So, um, what was I saying, y'all? The strangers, right? That's everybody else. When you see, that's my point. Yeah. The MAGA thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm back. So, MAGA, they're jealous of the blessing that the Most High is going to give us, right? But there's really nothing to be jealous about when the Most High is going to bless all of the people who turn from their wickedness and do righteousness. The Most High is going to bless everybody. So to be jealous is foolish because you're really just shortening your own life. That's what you're doing. You're shortening your own life in the end when you refuse to do right. Verse 6 says, also, oh, here it is, verse 3. I'm sorry, I'm way at verse 6. Verse 3 says, neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to Yah speak, saying, Yah has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. For thus saith Yah unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant, even unto them will I give in my house, and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. This is what the Most High is going to do for the heathens, the strangers, and Gentiles who turn from their wickedness and do right. They shall be blessed. And the Most High said that he will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Verse 6. Also, so that means the ones who want to do wickedly, your name is going to be cut off. Your name will be cut off. But the heritage of and the lineage of the ones who are strangers who want to do right is a name that shall not be cut off. What a blessing. Then we go to verse 6 where it says, also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to Yah, to serve him and to love the name of Yah, to be his servants, the Creator's servants, everyone that keep the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Now that is a democracy. All people to be blessed. In verse 8, it says, Yah, which gathers the outcasts of Israel, saith, yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. All ye beasts of the field, come to devour. Yeah, all ye beasts in the forest. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Verse 11. Yeah, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain. What that sound like? From his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So, that is the blessing for the heathen, right? The Most High will bless the world. The world will be blessed like it's supposed to be. Right now, what we're witnessing is the decay of the world. Moral decay, physical decay, it's decaying. The world is rotting. The world is being destroyed. I'm going to make a topic or a video based on that topic. Because it's the truth. The world is decaying. It's rotting. Because we have witnessed, and some of us have helped, a lot of us have helped the wicked to gain control. All control. So to the point where now they're out of control. So that's all I wanted to bring up today. I will be putting up another video soon. I hope you got something out of this lesson. All of us should, in Israel, should be turning from our wicked ways so that the world can follow us. So that we can be a house of prayer for all nations. I love that. So, take care, have a great night, and shalom.